we'll start with my guy, Ike Ekwonu.
What are preeps?
Props.
Oh, I was like, golly, that's another thing I don't know about. All right, let's go with Icky.
Over under for Ike Ekwonu is 3.5. The over is -130. The under, even money. Obviously, for this to hit, for the under to hit, Icky would need to be drafted in the first 3 picks by either the Jaguars, the Lions, or the Texans. Conventional wisdom. You know what? Let's go ahead and lob in. Should we just let's loop in Evan Neal here too as well.
What's his number?
His number is 4.5.
4.5.
The over is -140. What? And we always say these are reactionary markets, right?
Even at this point, they're not getting any inside information.
No, they are operating based on what people are saying.
Here's the thing, and speaking of conspiracy theories, if you're Dan Snyder and so far down the road of probably getting in trouble and maybe losing your team, you should be leaking information to the books and then making those bets and making one last run at it before you get run out of town.
That's right. It's like Washington and Dan Snyder could do anything, but you just messed with the 31 other or 30 other billionaires' money, and that's right. That's you don't want to do.
All that. Allegedly, by the way, I don't know what Dan Snyder may or may not have done.
What these two numbers are telling us, and obviously, again with Neal, the under means he's drafted in the first 4 picks. What these two numbers are telling us is that there is an increased belief around NFL draft media and around the teams that has been pushed out into the media that there are going to be 3 edge rushers or 2 edge rushers and a cornerback or 2 edge rushers and a quarterback taken in the first 3 picks. So I'll ask you, Wilson, what do you think about Icky over under 3.5 and Evan Neal over under 4.5?
We'll start with Icky. 3.5 is a great number. And I say that because I've had him going first overall to the Jaguars in recent mock drafts. I don't think he goes there, but I think he makes the most sense in terms of helping the Jaguars immediately. So then is he going 2? No, because they're probably taking an edge rusher of some sort. Even if Aiden Hutchinson goes first, maybe Trevon Walker goes second, maybe even
the general consensus is that if the Jaguars go with Trevon Walker first overall, that the Lions will sprint to the podium to get the card in for Aiden Hutchinson at number 2.
Yeah. So if Aiden goes first, then it gets a little tricky because you could take an offensive lineman, but I don't think the Lions will do that. But I mentioned all this because on Tuesday, if you're listening to this on Monday or Tuesday morning, you can watch on HQ at 4 p.m. Pete Briscoe and Chris Prassel will each be making picks for the first round. And Icky lasted until pick number 4 to the Jets. And that feels like, I don't say the lowest he can go, but 3.5 is a good number. And I don't know which side of it I'm on because he may not go 1, probably not going 2. That means he would have to go 3. Lovie Smith's sitting there at 3. They have a ton of needs. They do need offensive line help. But if they think the Texans are a guard, they think Ekwonu is a guard, they probably take Evan Neal. So do you want to my point is, do you want to take a guard at 3rd, at number 3? You don't.
Yeah. See, if I'm betting on these two, I am taking if I'm looking at these two, I'm taking the under on Evan Neal, I think, because
I think so too.
He feels Briscoe keeps saying that he thinks the Jags, that the Jags are still in play for Neal at first overall.
Pete says so. I don't know.
And I think Pete just likes Neal better, but I don't think it's out of the question that they say
they should take an offensive tackle, I think.
Right. Everybody thinks they should take an offensive tackle. And again, with Neal, the 2 landing spots in that top 3 with the Texans and really you could, actually, you know what? The 3 landing spots in the top 4 where you can win with Neal on the under, you have the Jaguars who have Cam Robinson. You have the Texans who have Laramie Tunsil. And you have the Jets who have Mekhi Becton. All 3 of those teams would like those left tackles to work out. Well, you can play Evan Neal at right tackle. And you can argue you shouldn't take a right tackle with the first.
No one's arguing. I don't think people argue that anymore.
Exactly. But there's also it serves as insurance too for your left tackle who you don't know if he's going to work out. I heard Lance Zierlein on the Athletic podcast with Dan Brugler, which is a great listen in terms of their draft shows. They're both smart guys. He increasingly believes, he said, first of all, he said cross off Thibodeau for the Texans at 3, and said he increasingly believes that the Texans will part ways with Laramie Tunsil, that there's an out in the contract. And so, or he seemed to indicate that he thinks that is a possibility. So I think that under for Evan Neal has several outs to it that I like at plus money. And I would just be really surprised if both of those guys are available at 5
Mm-hmm.
or even 4 for Icky and 5 for Neal. I mean, because the Giants too, by the way, at 5 they have Andrew Thomas on the left side. Neal could make sense for them as well.
Yeah, they like Andrew Thomas on the left.
Charles Cross wouldn't make sense at 5 if Icky and Neal go because he's strictly a left tackle.
So I can't remember. Someone in the media likes Cross better. I can't remember who it is. Daniel Jeremiah likes him as number 3, which most folks do, but there's a couple people that like him a lot. So I like him.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like Charles Cross. I'm just saying that I don't believe he played right tackle. It's his over under, by the way, 7.5 over minus 145.
I love that under all day long.
I love that under as well.
I don't think the Panthers are taking a quarterback at 6. Trade down, maybe something happens. Baker Mayfield's now been in the discussion as possible, possibly going to Carolina. I don't know if I told you or someone else, but I was talking to a team last week or the week before. They would rather have Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield over Kenny Pickett at 6.
Somebody told you that?
Someone in the league told me that. Yeah, not someone on the Panther staff.
Right. I think the Panthers are such a problem because there are a lot of people in the league who do think that they're going to take a quarterback at 6, and that they may very well do it. I think that they have to look at this team and say, all right, we can take Baker Mayfield on. And it's like some amalgamation of Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, and PJ Walker can cobble together 17 starts for us with a
Baker Mayfield's not bad. I think it was breached last week. We were talking in the mailbag about this.
You're wearing a Baker Mayfield t-shirt.
Yeah. Baker's not bad. He says crazy things out loud, which a lot of people do.
Yeah. The Panthers, if they get a left tackle at 6, all of a sudden, you're not going to talk yourself into them winning the division or anything, but like Baker plus a left tackle plus a healthy Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore
in that division,
I could talk myself into the Panthers being they were a fringe playoff team for like 3/4 of the year last year. And they finished with 5 wins.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think people
of these 3 offensive tackles, I love the under Charles Cross the best.
Yeah, because you have a lot of outs there.
It's minus 145 versus minus 140 versus, I don't know what the Icky one is. The number on that.
Minus 140 for Icky. Oh, Icky was minus 130, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah,
pay a little more.
I just don't think. I don't know, man. I don't think these tackles are going to fall like that far. Maybe it ends up going 1, 2, and 3 edge rushers. No, actually, I don't think it does. I think the Texans are in the market for an offense lineman.
Right. Now, Lovey's a defensive guy, but Nick Caserio appears to have a plan.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. Jack Easterby has been sort of hiding behind the curtain the last couple of months, so I don't know what he's up to. I don't think he has. I would imagine he doesn't have that much say in personnel with Nick Caserio running. I'm just be guessing, but Caserio seems like he sort of knows what he's doing.
Yeah. The wrench in the plan. So if I think I would like Neal under, I think it's Cross under first. If you have to believe the Panthers are taking a tackle, and then the Neal under, and then the Icky under would be my third choice, just because I would probably go more Icky over if we believe that the Texans are like, we need to figure out who do the Texans like what does the Texans draft board look like from a standpoint of the offensive tackles.
What do you think the Panthers are doing at 6?
I mean, I'd love to see a Baker Mayfield trade in the next, 10 days. So we know if Baker's not traded, you can't know.
I was telling Breach, it's like when you're in high school and you think that you should be going to the prom with the head cheerleader, and reality is you're band nerd.
Right.
That's the Panthers that's both the Panthers and Baker. They both realize they're middle of the pack in terms of the clicks. Let's be realistic. You ain't going to the prom with a football guy.
Yeah, it's time to like take a look. Go find a mirror.
Yes,
and figure it out. Okay,
and then ask the prom date accordingly to what you see in that mirror.
Yeah, and let's not forget that Baker went on that podcast. Whatever. Apologies for not knowing that. Just like if you know, or something like that.
Is it New York Post podcast?
You never know with Mike Stud.
Who is that guy? Like
he used to pitch for Duke baseball. He's like best friends with Johnny Manziel. He's a rapper, musician now.
Okay.
Definitely not in your Neil Francis wheelhouse.
Ooh, boy, that's an early dunk.
Which one's a dunk button?
Oh!
There we go.
Neil Francis.
I lost my Oh, there. I gotta flip it over. I have labels on them, and I lost it in the transition. But the
lost labels.
Yeah, I just think that I think the Panthers. You can't cover up a $19 million mistake by drafting Kenny Pickett at 6. Like, that's not how you turn your franchise around. Go get a left tackle.
Yep.
These left tackles are good.
Yep.
So I think the Panthers ultimately, I'd like to tell you that they side on common sense, but I mean, who the hell knows if they actually.
So it sounds like you don't think they'll draft a quarterback.
I think if Baker gets taken, they won't do it. I would point out too that is it oldest? Need to look at is it possible that the Lions could even consider an offensive lineman?
I guess, but I mean, they have Penei Sewell. They have who else? Decker still there.
Decker's their left tackle and Sewell is their right tackle. But